Hailey, and today I'm going to be talking about my February TBR. So February is the shortest month of the year, so I was trying to be semi-reasonable this month, but that never really works out, especially because February is kind of the last month of winter. I mean, it's still like winter weather in March, at least where I live most of the time, although you never really know because like one day it could be like 30 or 40 degrees out and then the next day it's like below zero, so you never know what you're gonna get. But for me, March just feels like it's the first month of spring, like I'm in the spring mood. So if you watched my recent winter TBR, then you know that I have a ton of books that I wanted to read in winter, a lot of historical fiction specifically, but the end of winter is nigh, so I'm kind of squeezing them all in here. So without further ado, let's just get into my very unrealistic TBR. So first of all, I don't know if you knew this, but February is the month of love, the month of Valentine's Day. I'm not huge into romance and like stuff like that. Maybe it is because I am forever alone and eternally single, but to combat my singleness on Valentine's Day, if I'm not like working or anything, I think I might do a 24-hour readathon on my own, inspired by Read by Zoe sort of thing. I've done it once before and then I haven't been able to participate, but I kind of want to do it again. But I've got a few romancy books here that I would be reading if I choose to do that, or at least trying to, because like there's no way I'm getting through 5 books in a day. But the first one is The Distance Between Us by Kasie West. This is about 2 characters who are from like opposite spectrums financially and then they fall in love. Romantic. And then I also have Love, Life, and the List by Kasie West. This appeals to me a little bit more than the first one. This is all about a girl who's trying to break herself out of her comfort zone. She makes this whole list of stuff to do, including fall in love, and she gives herself a really short period of time to do it, and she's trying to do it so then she can become a better artist. So she's kind of like planning life experiences so then she'll have enough experience to make good art. This one sounds really cool, so I think I will probably be getting to this one. Next is Autoboyography. I have heard that this is just an adorable romance between 2 guys who are in the same creative writing class. So I feel like as a writer, I appreciate stuff that has to do with writing, and I just feel like it sounds really cute. And then I have 2 Victorian set little romance kind of fun, quick, easy reads. Those were lots of description, words, adjectives. Wow. I swear I was an English major. Solid. But we have Duels and Deception by Cindy Anstey and Love, Lies, and Spies by... is this also? Yes, also by Cindy Anstey. This one is an homage to Jane Austen, which is really cool, and this one, I don't know if it's an homage, but it says, in which a lady and a law clerk find themselves entangled in the scandal of the season. So these could either be really fun and corny, or just way too much cheese for me to handle. So now getting into my actual TBR, I think I might end up reading The Right to Write by Julia Cameron. This is the author of The Artist's Way, but this is kind of that, but for writers. I actually found it in a BuzzFeed article. The Artist's Way was actually in the BuzzFeed article, but then someone commented down below about this one. So I feel like this could be very helpful, and if it's not, then oh well. But it kind of depends on how stuff with my work in progress is going, if the outlining is going well, if I'm done the outlining, or if I'm feeling like I really need to kind of just hone my writing craft in general, then I will probably pick this one up. I'm not really sure yet. It has lots of activities in here though. Next, I'm hoping to continue with The Annotated Brothers Grimm, which is edited by Maria Tatar. I had been doing really well with this in the beginning of January, and then I kind of set it aside for a while and didn't pick it up again. But I got to there. That's where I got to. So I don't have like a ton left. I've been going through it pretty quickly. It's selected fairy tales from the Brothers Grimm, but it has like different illustrations and annotations on the side, so it's really like an analysis of them. Not really like that's exactly what it is. It is analyzing them. So I'm hoping to get through the rest of this one in this month, because then I want to move on to the Hans Christian Andersen one that I have, and then I have one that's just random classic fairy tales. Basically, I want to be on a fairy tale binge in 2018 and just read all of the fairy tales. Next, I have another classic that I will probably only be able to start this month. I don't think I'll be able to finish it, but that would be cool if I did. But that is Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. This is like a really giant book, so that's why I say I don't think I'll be able to finish it, but I would at least like to start it. This is one of the only children's classics that I haven't read yet. Actually, it's one of the ones that I've owned for the longest that I haven't read yet. I think I got this back in like 2015, 2014. And I do really want to read it. I believe my mom really likes the Little Women stories. I always get them mixed up with Little House on the Prairie. I know she likes Little House on the Prairie, and I'm pretty sure she would also like Little Women because she likes stuff that's like set in that era. So I would like to read this. Next, I have 4 arcs that I'm hoping to get to. So first is Ace of Shades by Amanda Foody. This is coming out in April, so I feel like I should try and get a head start because I've been really bad recently with reading arcs before they come out. So what better time to start than the present, am I right? But I really liked Amanda Foody's previous novel. It was very unique, so I think this one is going to be much the same, especially because it deals with like casino families and stuff like that. Weird, but cool. There's lots of potential there. Next is The Astonishing Color of After by Emily X.R. Pan, and this is coming out at the end of March, I believe. It doesn't say, but I think it was the end of March, like March 27th or something like that. But this is really about a girl who's trying to discover her identity and her culture after her mother has committed suicide, and I believe that there is a magical realism element because she thinks that her mother has turned into a bird. So I think that this could be really cool. I believe that the culture she's learning about is Taiwan. I'm not 100% sure, but I love learning about different cultures, so whatever it is, I'm excited. Next is Furyborn by Claire LeGrand. This isn't coming out until May, so it's not exactly top priority, and it is a really big book, so I probably won't be getting to it this month, but I've heard such amazing things about it, and I know it's a fantasy, and that's about all I know, but I do want to get to it before it comes out, so maybe in February, probably not, but a girl can dream, right? And the final arc on my TBR is The Traitor's Game by Jennifer A. Neilsen. This is coming out at the end of February, so it would be awesome if I could get to it at the beginning of the month, though I don't know if that will end up happening. But Jennifer A. Neilsen has a couple or a few series in the middle grade section, and I believe this is her first venture into YA, so I'm super excited for it. It has a really, really pretty cover, and I love fantasies that feature like a game element, so this could be really cool. Next I have historical fictions, as promised. Now I won't be going into depth about these books because these are ones that I was just talking about in my winter TBR, all but one of them, so if you wanted to know more about them, I will link that video for you. So the first one is Anna and the Swallow Man by Gavriel Savit, which is a historical fiction, magical realism blend, and I want to read this so badly. If I get to one on this list, I really hope that it's this one, even though I want to get to like all of them, which is the eternal struggle of being a book lover. You want to read all the books at the same time, but at the same time you have like no energy to read. Just me? No? Okay, moving on. This I have had for so long, so it is high time I get to it. Next is The Lady Elizabeth by Alison Weir. This is the only one that wasn't included in my winter TBR video, but this is all about Queen Elizabeth I in her youth, and Queen Elizabeth I is someone who intrigues me vastly. I'm really fascinated by royalty in general, especially like the British monarchy, and Queen Elizabeth is just someone that I'm so intrigued by, so I very much want to get to this one, and Alison Weir is actually a historian, so I have high hopes for it. The fact that she's also written a biography on Queen Elizabeth I makes me think that this should be very accurate and very good. Next is The Girl in the Blue Coat by Monica Hesse. This is set in Amsterdam during World War II, which is super intriguing to me because my mom's side of the family is Dutch, so I'm very fascinated by that, and knowing some of their stories from being there in World War II, I feel like it'll be very cool to read a book about it. Next is The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. This is about sisters in Nazi-occupied France, and I have heard nothing but amazing things about it, so it has a lot of hype to live up to, and I hope that it does it. And the last historical fiction is The Librarian of Auschwitz by Antonio Iturbe, translated by Lilith Thwaites. This is going to be super intense, and I think I'm really going to have to be in the right mindset for it, so I'm hoping that I will be in that mindset in February because I think that this has the potential to be incredible. And finally, the final two books. One of these was also in my winter TBR, and that is The Bear and the Nightingale by Catherine Arden. This is based on Russian folklore, and I think someone said partially local religion as well, which seems super cool. But I've heard that winter is like the perfect time to read this book. I'm just waiting for it to be really snowy outside. It was so snowy for so long, and now it's just not at all, of course, because I'm going to read this book when it's snowing and I want to read it, so it's not snowing. Thank you. And the final book is The Bells by Danielle Clayton. This sounds like such an interesting and unique story. It's about this world where everyone is born gray, but then you have these bells who are able to make people beautiful. Like, it sounds like absolutely nothing I've ever read before, so I'm super excited to get to it. So those are all the books on my February TBR. I was hoping this video would be much shorter than it is, but here we are. Let me know what books you are planning on reading in February, or if you have read any of these books, your thoughts on them. And if you guys did enjoy this video, don't forget to subscribe. I put out new videos every Monday and Thursday. You can also follow me on my social media. I have Twitter, and my Twitter is at @HailesandBookland, and I also have Instagram, and my Instagram is at HaileyandBookland, but all that information is down below for you guys. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!